The goal of this project was to display the beach in a happy and casual light, while also making the audience look at the beach from various and new perspectives. This year, I learned that my greatest strengths lie in landscape photography. Going into the year, my biggest weakness was not knowing how to operate most of the settings on my camera. Growth was shown in this department through the various photographs of landscape in this project. In addition, Tom learned that photographing subjects relating to minimalism was his greatest strength. Over the course of the year, Tom improved upon the complexity and uniqueness of his pictures by taking 5 pictures of the same subject from different angles. Overall, we learned that as a team partaking in this project that communication is the most important aspect in making teamwork fluid and successful. The reason we chose beach photography for our passion project was because the beach is our favorite location to hang out and relax in, but we are also in great awe of its beauty and underlying complexity. The premise of this picture was to make the audience laugh at its underlying stupidity. Steven is wearing a sweater that says stir fry of all things, and why would he be posing next to an upside down car in the middle of the forest? This photo represents postmodernism as it displays an abstract pose in an abstract situation. This photograph was meant to initially confuse the audience as it is an abstract way of looking at the beach. The lights from the boardwalk are shining on the water, which creates a vibrant effect. This photograph demonstrates growth as it utilized a very long exposure of 10 seconds while also using a tripod. This photograph messes with the perspective of the audience as it looks like the picture was taken from inside the ocean, but in reality it was taken from the shoreline as the camera was placed on the ground while a wave rolled through. This picture is only focused in the front to make the audience be memorized by the fluidity of the water. We purposefully placed the sun directly behind the lifeguard shack to create a beautiful lighting effect that came from the sunset, an orange color that made the picture unique. This picture was meant to serve as a silhouette. The outline of the sand in the lifeguard shack was cut off by the vibrancy of the ocean. The picture is meant to relax the audience. This picture similarly plays with perspective like number 3, but it utilizes the sunlight to bring contrast to the water. This picture displays the happiness of our friends. We put them in front of pink flowers to illustrate the mood of the photograph. This picture plays with patterns of proportion as well. Steven sitting the highest is the happiest, while Spencer sitting the lowest is the most depressed. This is an action picture as our friends ran into a cluster of seagulls. With the fast shutter speed, you can see the details in our friends' faces, the dust of the sand flying up, and the birds zooming away in fear. This photograph is fantastic. It is a silhouette of our friends staring off into the distance, while also playing with minimalism. Outside of the cave, there is just plain open blue sky, which in turn makes the audience appreciate the simplistic values of the photograph. This picture represents the deepness yet simplicity of nature. To take this picture, we had to walk out far into nature, yet when we found the spot, the location was so serene. The simplicity of the weeds flowing in the wind with the sunlight shining down makes the audience realize just how beautiful the simple things in life are. This photograph is fantastic because of its postmodern aspects, which represent a dog chilling on the beach. This picture is meant to serve as a portrait for the dog because the dog's a cutie. This photo shows a fantastic difference in aspects. There is a radiant in the sky from cold to hot as you look down, and there is also another silhouette that plays with minimalistic values. This photo is simple in appearance, yet has an underlying message to always keep your head up. This picture plays with the consistency of the color green, while showing many details with a clear focal point up front and less focus in the back. This picture is an action shot of the birds going for a bag of chips. The very high shutter speed allows the audience to see the chaos in the picture as all the birds violently flap around for the bag. This picture has a long exposure, which helps to show the detail of the moss on the rocks and the water splashing from the bottom of the waterfall. This is another action shot which displays the dynamics of the seagulls flying in relation to Steven, who thought he could fly.